Well, my concern is, my question really is why a 30-day cancellation clause if the airlines are indeed sure that they'll guarantee us this cost.
Mr. Allen, to be perfectly honest with you, and I've tried to be honest with all of the people I've dealt with on this, if we do not get the fare increase, then we would not want to pick up the tab. This is the purpose of the fare increase, is to...
You would support the head tax?
I beg, yes, sir. We would, well, we wouldn't appear in opposition. No, sir, we would not. But Mr. Allen, I assure you that it will not cost the city a penny.
Well, this is the only assurance we want.
All right, sir, that's fine.
It's up to staff and the city attorney to indicate to us what form this guarantee should take. And I'm sure this council would approve.
We worked very closely with Mr. Bickley on a number of contracts and agreements, and there's no question in my mind but what we can work it out with Mr. Bickley, or Mr. Bickley can work it out with us. We've never had any problem before.
Thank you, but I think we need to...
we're presuming that the indication here from the council is that the city of Dallas would not be in a position of picking up these costs. Now, we would want to include in that agreement an arrangement with the airlines that in the event that that 30 days, they chose to exercise their 30-day cancellation, we were barred by federal legislation from levying that head tax, then we would want to protect ourselves in that agreement in that event.
Well, that's exactly what I was trying to get at. You brought up the question about the...
I think that's the only point.
Yeah, you understand the problem. If we make agreement with you to pay the costs and you retain the right to cancel the contract and you cancel it after we're barred from levying the head tax, we're in trouble.
That's
so
we'd want
to cover that.
I wasn't trying to avoid it, Mr. Weber. I was just not clear on it. I'm sure there'll be no problem there.
Okay.
Mr. Bickley, would that satisfy you from the city attorney's standpoint as far as protection of the city is concerned, and Ms. Wright?
I think we can write it to protect the city that way, yes. That's what the council desires to do.
I was just concerned about
We would want a no litigation clause in there also.
I think all this council is interested in is being held harmless from this cost. That's all we want.
I'm a Dallas citizen, resident, taxpayer. I'm also president of a wholesale lumber company here in Dallas County with industrial property within 2 miles of the proposed Trinity River Barge Canal. My company imports and distributes over 25,000 tons of lumber and plywood products annually all over the United States and in Canada. And to distribute this much cargo, you can appreciate that we use all forms of transportation, water, truck, and rail. Based on my company's experience and my own personal experience with the problems and the economics of bulk transportation, I recognize the Trinity Barge Canal, which the council may have already unanimously endorsed, I'm not sure about this point, to be an economic goof-up of absolutely unbelievable proportions. I mentioned my credentials in the beginning because there have been persistent attempts to characterize the opponents of the Barge Canal as simply a bunch of bird watchers out of touch with reality of everyday business and commerce. I submit to you, gentlemen and ladies, if there's anyone out of touch with economic reality, it would be the proponents of this canal. I know there are some good independent thinkers on this city council, and so I ask you today, please don't rubber stamp this ill-conceived idea without asking yourselves first some searching questions. Number one, how many of you are aware that the Trinity Canal has been estimated on the basis of 1967 construction costs? And how many of you noted just the other day the Houston Chamber of Commerce's report showing that the construction costs on Lake Livingston have gone up 90% in just the last 5 years, from $100 million to $190 million? Number two, how many of you have ever gone to the trouble to actually look into the Army engineer's report per se of the projected traffic for this proposed canal? By this, I mean not the Trinity Improvement Association's statement about what the engineer's report says, but actually what the engineer's report says itself. Because if you have looked at these original reports, you will see, and I wonder how we can tell the taxpayers this, that 2/3 of the total traffic for this canal is supposed to be comprised of just sand and gravel. These are not my figures, and this is not my projection, and this wasn't my research. This is the Army engineer's report on which supposedly this entire project is being based. How do you foresee this being a boon to Dallas County business with its electronics and space hardware, with its aircraft, computer technology? In the past 20 years, I have personally seen a substantial number of cities create port authorities or navigation districts with high hopes for all the economic benefits that you're being promised for this Trinity Barge Canal. I have also seen these municipal bodies end up both frustrated and broke, in many cases because the traffic never materialized. In almost every case, I was shocked to find out how little these municipalities really knew about traffic potential and what mistaken ideas they held about water transportation in general. Council members, please do not commit the city of Dallas, and more importantly, its taxpayers, to a similar fiasco. Thank you.